This video is part 2 of the chapter Human Capital Formation in India. Let's continue with the remaining topics that has to be covered. Let's consider the differences between human capital and human development. Human capital uses education and health for the purpose of increasing labor productivity. That is to make sure that the person becomes of that sort because of which he or she will be capable of producing goods and services effectively. Human beings over here is a way to reach the goal of creating capable, productive individuals. If this doesn't happen, then the investment in health and education is considered unproductive or useless. On the other hand, human development considers education and health the core essentials. It is considered as the need of the individuals, and it is the factor that determines well-being. Here, productivity is not important. There is such an atmosphere wherein human beings could access educational and health facilities, that is more than enough. Provisions are made, and those provisions were utilized for the purpose of human welfare. That's it. The goal has been reached. Under human development, whether the person has become productive or not is something out of the context and is never thought about. This slide has content pertaining to the top players in the matters of education and health. They play a crucial role. They are the decisive elements who influence the path of education and health. Let's know who and which organizations influences the educational sector in India. Starting with the ministries of education both at the union and state level. Then we have educational organizations such as the National Council of Educational Research and Training, University Grants Commission, and All India Council of Technical Education. Next, consider the top players in the health matters. Again, starting with the ministries of health at the union and state level. Next, we have departments of health and various organizations like National Medical Commission, Indian Council for Medical Research. Let's continue with how much has been spent on education in India. Spending on education is expressed either in terms of percentage of total government expenditure, that is, out of all the expenditures of the government on various things such as infrastructure, health, environment, national security, and various other things, what is the percent of amount that is spent on education? Or it is expressed in terms of percentage of GDP. It considers the value of gross domestic product. It expresses the value that is out of the total value of gross domestic product, how much is spent on education. In 1952, 7.92%, and in 2014, 15.7% was spent on education out of the total government expenditures. And in 1952, 0.64%, and in 2014, 4.13% of gross domestic product was spent on education. First to 8th standard elementary education takes up a major share of total educational expenditure, and higher education expenditure is the least. In order to make sure educational provisions reaches everyone, at least 6% of gross domestic product must be spent on education. This has been recommended long ago by the Education Commission 1964-66. RTE Act was enacted in 2009. It made elementary education a fundamental right of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. In order to achieve universal elementary education in India, 2% education cess is levied on all union taxes, which is utilized to provide better infrastructure, library, playground, books, ICT facilities, etc. Future prospects. Under this heading, we have the issues that needs constant attention. First one being education for all, which is still a distant dream, which has to be achieved because there are certain section of society who have not come under the umbrella of education. Second, gender equity. Though the difference between the male and female literacy rate is better than before, still it has to reach the point of no difference. Higher education. There are few takers of higher education. Many of them leave studies either after elementary level or after secondary level. Few of them reach the higher education level, and even then unemployment rate persists among the educated youth. This has to be resolved. Thank you for watching.